Welcome to the Retirement Rabbit Hole. Today, I'm going to talk about financial risk in retirement and basically how I changed the amount of risk I was willing to take once I was no longer receiving a paycheck. First off, don't take anything I'm saying here as advice. I'm certainly no expert when it comes to finances. I've made plenty of mistakes with money over the years. So I retired in 2021, and that's about 4 years ago. Um, Prior to retirement, I didn't worry much about fluctuations in the stock market. Been through plenty. Since the 2000s, we've got 2001, 2008, 2020, and then more recently 2022. My investing philosophy was basically to keep investing, always looking for higher returns. I tended to be a bit on the risky side with what I would invest in. And then when the market was down, just to look at it as though I were buying things on sale. Like most investors, I had some hits and some misses, and probably the best thing I did was just to stay in the market. I didn't have all my money in the market. I did own some bonds and I had some cash reserves, but if I were to estimate, I'd say somewhere around 80 to 90% of my investment money was in the market somewhere. When I retired, I didn't initially make any changes. I left everything where it was. I just wasn't adding to it anymore. And then when, so again, I retired in 2021, and then 2022 happened, and the S&P was down 18%. The Nasdaq ended up down almost 30%. And actually, if you look at the highs from 2021 to the lowest point in 2022, it was even a little worse than that. So I was watching my retirement savings go down in a big way. I knew that the plan said stay the course. Just stay in the market will recover, ride it out. I knew that I had enough funds to get through a few years if the market was down, so I wouldn't need to sell when it was low. I knew that basically the only way I could lose money was to sell while it was down. And yeah, I knew all that, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't sit and watch while the money was dropping, and I didn't know where the bottom was going to be. I was having trouble sleeping at night. I was imagining that this could be the big one. Maybe the market won't recover. Maybe it'll go down close to zero. It was just one of those things that I just couldn't get past. So, somewhere around the end of the first quarter of 2022, I decided to pull out almost half of the money that I had in the market and put it into safer investments. And I almost immediately started sleeping better once I did that. So the market continued to go down a little bit after that. Then it stabilized. Then it recovered. And since then, it's blown way past the highs that it had seen in 2021. So certainly, had I stayed with it, I would have been in a better place today. At least the amount of money that would have been there would have been higher than where it is today. And I guess the good news is, since I didn't fully pull out of the market, I was able to recover and get back to where I had been prior to the market dropping. and then some. But certainly, it would have been higher had I stuck with it. But at this point, I look at it and really have no regrets doing what I did. In hindsight, doing it earlier would have been better, but the fact that I did it at all put me in a better place and a place where I can feel fairly comfortable today. Um, I guess I never expected to happen, but for me, really, what had occurred and the difference between that and everything else is prior drops in the market. Um, I had time and I was earning money. So I could just keep plowing some more money back in, wait for the market to recover. Felt pretty good about it. So I really was not expecting the emotions that I went through at this point in time. Um, and I guess it was just looking at the fact that this was all I had, this chunk of money that was there, and if I lose this, then things are going to be very different than what I was originally planning on. So, um, I guess going back to it, I wasn't expecting the emotions, um, but I'm glad I did it, and in some ways, I'm glad that that happened as early as it did, so that I was able to put in a different plan and get to a point where I feel fairly comfortable. Um, I don't know, the small dips that we've had since then, I don't get too concerned about. I'm sure the next 30-40% drop that happens, I'll still be concerned, but I can at least feel better about the fact that it's not going to go down as far as the last time, and my recovery, even though it might be slow, I'm not down as far, so I don't have as far to go back up. Um, so anyway, I guess my suggestion to anyone else who's either near or just starting retirement is to do a serious evaluation on what your emotional ability is to weather a significant drop. So picture your risky assets and whether you can live with a 50% drop with those assets and where that would put you. And if you find that that thought scares you, then maybe you really ought to take a look at some changes. It's certainly better to do it while the market's up than waiting till the market's down like I did. Um, anyway, let me know what you think of this, and whether you found yourself in a similar situation and how you handled it, or what you did to get yourself through a tough stretch. And as always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and have a good day.